It's been incredible, to be completely honest with you. I think, for me, the process is very different this time because we're really working as a band. I think on previous records, for me, I've done most of the writing myself, and I've spent a lot of time, in pre-production writing a lot of the songs. Where most of the instrumentation and the production is kind of 90% there, and then we get into recording the album, and it's really just kind of fine tweaking and adding some stuff or taking some stuff away or re-recording things. So this has been really interesting because it's working with the whole band this time, and everyone's got their own sort of perspective on things, which is really cool. So it's nice to not be in the driver's seat all the time, but at the same time, my control freakness comes out every once in a while. But it's been an incredible journey so far, just recording this third album. The first money I ever made in music, well, as a musician, singing, I think I must have been about 15. I think we played at a little coffee house, and I probably made 100 Rand and thought I was very rich, and I got free coffee and free waffles or something like that. So I was probably 14, 15 at the time. In terms of in the music industry, I had the privilege of working with a lot of established bands as a teenager into my adulthood, and that was my job. So I made quite a bit of money there, But yeah, it's weird to think that I've been doing this for more than half my life. So yeah, 100 Rand back then was a big deal. Parable 15, again, most people have heard this story before, but it's an interesting thing. We never set out to be anything. It was Bryce, my brother, and myself writing songs for the sake of writing songs because we loved it. We had both been in the music industry a long time on different levels and at different places in our lives, but I think we were both kind of sick of trying to make it, sick of trying to be in the machine, and we just got together to write songs. And sort of, people heard what we did, friends and family, and really encouraged us to get out and do stuff. So we did some open mics, and it kind of just led from there. And 10 years later, we're celebrating 10 years as a band this year. So it's that's kind of what led to it. And it's been a good trip. Is Parable 15 a big band? I don't know. In South Africa, is any band a big band? But a band that's been successful for me as a singer, for me as a frontman, yeah, this has been the first really, successful thing that I've done. I worked with very successful bands in Nashville, Tennessee, and all over South Africa, and got to learn from the best. So it's really cool to be able to say that I've taken what I learned throughout the years and kind of plowed it back into what we've been doing, and yeah, it's been great. So I'm really flattered by the idea of big band, but this is the first successful music thing that I've done as the frontman. That's a very difficult question to answer. How did I do it? I don't really know. I think we always had a dream and a goal, and I think that's the biggest thing. If I'm going to be vulnerable and honest for a second here, I think insecurity is a big thing that plays a huge part in everyday life for most of us, but as musicians especially, comparing ourselves to other musicians. And I think I have an incredible team and an incredible amount of support around me from friends and family, and that encourage me on a daily basis, that are there, that have nurtured what I'm good at. I spent a lot of time comparing myself to other musicians and going, well, I can't sing like that, and I'll never be Keith Urban, and I'll never be Bono, but I can be Mark, and I can do the best that I can do, and it turns out that people like what I do, and my band is super supportive of what I write and what I do, and we play to those strengths. You know, everyone in the band has their own gifts and their own talents, but we all have things that we wish we were better at, and you know, it turns out that people like what we do, and what we focus on is our strengths and what we're good at. So that's kind of how we did it, I would say, is just focusing on what we are and who we are, and really encouraging one another in the band to you know, live that out and do the best that we can. That's a difficult one. Record that I've recommended to people is the U2 Joshua Tree album. It's still my favorite record of all time. I really think it's incredible. The songs on there, the sonic sound of that album. So when people talk to me about what's your favorite record or what album should I listen to, definitely Joshua Tree by U2. Books, I'm not really an avid reader, but I would probably say that, you know, there's a book that I started reading called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep, that is absolutely incredible. Again, playing into the whole idea of insecurity and feeling like, you know, the world's kind of judging you. Go and check that book out. I'm not going to say the name in total, but The Subtle Art of Not Giving a... I think that failure is a harsh way of looking at it, but it's true. You know, I'm not gonna downplay that. I'm gonna go back to, you know, the question about how we did it. I think I struggle still, you know, with comparing myself to other people, and kind of downing myself and kind of putting pressure on myself that I'm not good enough, you know. And I think the other thing that's hugely important is to know your identity. I placed my identity in music and singing and songwriting for the longest time, and I think if you know me as Mark from Parable 15, that's all you're going to know. And if I choose to claim that as my identity, then that's all, you know. I'm going to fall short of what I am worth. I'm not just Mark from Parable 15. I happen to sing. It's something that I do. It's something I'm very, very passionate about. But the truth is that you know, I'm more than that. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm somebody who has a whole lot of love to give, and I really just care about people. So, you know, a failure is that I've fallen into the trap of being insecure and feeling like I'm not good enough and feeling like I'm not worthy enough to even do what I do. But again, I have an incredible team around me. My band is super encouraging. Again, play to my strengths, and like I said, it turns out that people like what I'm good at and don't really care about what I'm not good at. So yeah, the 2020 Vision Tour, I thought I was very, very clever by calling it that, but it turns out that a lot of people are using the 2020 Vision sort of play on words. So we're on the road, super, super excited about this year. Nick, our guitarist, is new in the band, a youngster with an amazing amount of talent and just a heart for people as well, and just really, really about the music and what we're doing. So we're excited. You know, we're touring around the country again. We are playing some great venues in front of some great people, and we can't wait to get out there and showcase this new music. I think it's different. I think it's the most refined music we've ever put out there. It's not the old Parable that you've heard before. There's no gimmicks, there's no backtracks, there's nothing. It's four guys on stage back to the basics of rock and roll music. And you know, it's a challenge, but we really are loving it. So the tour is something that we cannot wait to, you know, release. We've done 1 or 2 shows already on the tour, but get out there and play all these shows this year. We can't wait to see you at one of those shows. again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this interview and get to know a little bit more about Parable 15. If you like what you're hearing, if you like what you're seeing, please go to parable15.com, go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all those things. Subscribe, like, share, do all those things, because it really helps us to support local music and to get the word out there. So thanks so much, and we'll see you soon.